Welcome to the 7783 Wildland engine orientation. 7783 began life in 1984 as an AM General M35 2.5 ton truck. This is its original military configuration. Here is 7783, the Wildland engine. Please take general note of the compartments. This is on the driver's side. We have the battery compartment underneath the cab. First compartment contains wheel chock, storage space. The main compartment has hand tools. The rear compartment, hose and appliances. The right-hand side of the vehicle, to the rear we have the rehab compartment. Main compartment has utility rope and some tools. The front compartment has chainsaw with its tools, and we have fuel for the pump and for the chainsaw. The 50-gallon diesel fuel tank for this engine is underneath the cab on the right-hand side and is also used to step into the vehicle. Please pay particular note to the exhaust stack. This exhaust stack will get very hot while this vehicle is in operation. Never use this as a handhold. The front and the rear of this vehicle are the business ends of this engine. From the rear, you will see the utility bed with the Wildland tank and pump insert. On the front of the vehicle, we have the front-mounted monitor. This is remote controlled from inside the cab. As you enter the cab, be sure that before you climb in, notice the limited creature comforts. Use caution as you climb in. It is easy to bang your shins on bare metal. Particular safety note: the parking brake handle is just left of the driver's seat. It can be easily disengaged as you enter and exit the vehicle. The driver's seat of this vehicle has 3 points of adjustment. You will also please take note again of the parking brake handle just to the left of the driver's seat. Again, this is easily disengaged as you enter and exit the vehicle. Please be cautious. From the driver's seat, as you view the dashboard, just to the left of the steering column, make note of all of the signs that are posted in here. These all have important information. So be familiar with what these signs present to you. The master battery switch is located in the main part of this panel. You will also take note that the headlight switch is underneath the master battery switch. This prevents the headlights from being left on when the vehicle is turned off. Take note of the engine stop. This is what you pull to stop the diesel engine when you are finished with operations. Underneath that is a manual throttle control. This is you simply adjust the throttle by pulling this out and locking it into place. There will be very limited times when you may need to use this, although it can be useful when you are on scene and sitting idle for some time. There's a panel underneath which has a switch on it. This is designed for heating in the engine when you are starting in extremely cold conditions. This is not something that we generally need to use, so just be aware of what it is, but don't plan on using it. To the right of that, we have the pneumatic windshield wiper control. This is basically a dial which adjusts air pressure to the windshield wipers. Take note of the manual turn signal and emergency flasher switch. These do not automatically reset as you make turns. This is manually operated at all times. On the panel to the right of the steering column, make note of all of the gauges and the buttons that you have here. The oil pressure gauge, speedometer, the tachometer, your temperature gauge, and the air pressure gauge. Also the voltmeter, which tells you the condition of the charge, and your fuel gauge. You have two little lights that are on the dash, which are for the headlight operations. One tells you that the headlights are on, and the lower one tells you when the high beams are engaged. The starter button, you will notice, is at the lower end of the panel, just to the left. And you have a front transfer case switch level that's just underneath the dashboard. This is something that is generally not going to be used. The all-wheel drive on this vehicle is fully engaged and automatic at all times. This can be used in extremely slippery situations such as mud or in ice. The front transfer case switch is only to be used in extreme conditions. These are the floorboard controls. You will notice the manual dimmer switch is operated by foot. You have your clutch pedal, brake pedal, and the accelerator. The front-mounted monitor control is in the middle of the dashboard. Please take note of the monitor power switch. When the vehicle is not in use, this monitor switch needs to be turned off. Otherwise, the monitor will remain on at all times, and this can drain your battery. The joystick gives you full control of the monitor, the direction and elevation. The stream control is a toggle switch on the top of the joystick. This will change your stream from straight stream to a full fog. Play with this and you'll get familiar with how this works. Take note of the water valve switch that's on the joystick panel. When the switch is turned to on, water will flow from the pump continuously. When the toggle switch is flipped to the joystick side, water will flow from the monitor by using the water hand trigger that is on the front of the joystick. This is the front-mounted monitor that is controlled by that joystick. It has servo motors that control all of the operations from within the vehicle. Please take note of the factory air conditioning installed on this vehicle. Pretty simple. You crack the front windows open. Here's the communication console in between the two seats. You have your headset controls. A water tank level indicator is on the panel. You have your fire radio. Note that the portable radio charger on this vehicle does not work for our current handheld radios. There's two microphones, the radio microphone and the PA mic are both mounted on the front part of this console. Your siren and code 3 and working light switch is on the left side of this panel. This is looking in through the right side of the vehicle. Please take note that you have fire shelters are in a blue bag underneath the seat. The glove box includes a safety vest and it has the insurance card information for this vehicle. Okay, the pump and tank insert as seen from the rear. You have the pump panel. This is the same configuration that we have on all of our Wildland engines. Note the position of the fuel tank. Down below that you have the drafting port, the primer button, and then you have your valve, your pull to draft valve. To the right of that you have an 1.5-inch discharge and a valve. Further to the right is the tank fill valve. And then to the right again of this you have your foam control. The tank on this unit holds 750 gallons of water. To the left of the water tank is the is the firefighting foam tank. These both have visual indicators to show you the level. On each side of this vehicle there's a hose reel. Each hose reel has a valve to control the flow. You will be able to see this on both sides of the vehicle, so please take note of its location. Here are the left side compartments. Okay, the front compartment has a wheel chock, traffic cones, flares, and storage. The middle compartment contains hand tools and a section of drafting hose. The rear compartment contains some hose and a variety of the hose appliances. On the right side compartments, in the rear we have rehab, and it even has a little cooler in it. The main compartment has utility rope and storage. There's also some bolt cutters in this compartment. The front compartment here has the chainsaw with its tools, and it has fuel for the pump and for the chainsaw. Now it's time to move on to the hands-on training component. Thank you.